What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. A couple of you guys have been asking me, when will Jim be restocking their Pro Tech backpacks? And yes, a backpack by a playmat company made for card gamers. It's pretty freaking awesome. So they will be in stock tonight at, set the alarm, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central. The black and grays will go pretty fast, and that's all that's available for this time. The reds were a limited edition, and they will be at the $70 price point, but you can get 10% off with Champs10, code down below and link down below. And they also have a white hoodie in stock that I think actually looks really awesome. I just don't personally keep good enough, care of white clothing. That's why I always wear black, chat. I'm a pretty messy eater, messy guy, and in Texas, we get outdoors, so I think I would try to sparingly use this at events. But if you're into white clothes, you enjoy this kind of stuff, and don't mind showing off the waifus, it looks really freaking nice, and the 10% off will work on that also. I think much more practical use, though, would be the backpack. Let's go ahead and get into today's market watch, starting with DD Crow on several variants. The Ultimate Rare has been pretty much bought out on both the Unlimited and First Eds, and we see it resting $68 freaking dollars versus $90. This hits that point of collectability and playability. And yeah, Strike and Neos holds a special place in my heart too, guys. But I just don't think it's one of the best options against Salamangreats. Like, Ghost Bell is good. I think there's a really good option that's getting bought out right now that actually, I restarted this market watch because I didn't realize it was getting bought out on the level it is. That's Abyss Dweller. You have Danger Mothman, you have the Collapse Servant, Weaver Buster, you have so many ways to go into Abyss Dweller in rank 4 in a lot of decks. We see the Near Mint here for the Super Rare pretty much bought out. We see the Gold Rare at $250 before it sharply rises to $450. And then we see the Secret Forces Super Even start to rise quickly with only 13 prices. And looking at all results, there's only 34 Abyss Dwellers on eBay for sale. And we see $3, $3.80, and it just quickly goes up to their all $4. So if you, for some reason, don't have Abyss Dweller from your good old rank 4 toolbox days, you're a newer player, you might want to be getting a hold of this card. I do think that it takes care of things just a little bit better when we're talking about Omni stopping the graveyard effects and what's the Forbidden Graveyard's new name? I forget, but I just feel like Abyss Dweller's where it's at, what you want to really be using overall for a lot of decks that are able to make the rank 4s. So versus DD Crow, I think it's better. Also, just a weird note on the buyout of DD Crow, the Kaiba collection one, as it were, has been going up, and I find that odd. It's the newest one. It should have the most quantities on market, yet it's the one that's being wiped off the market. And I get it's higher rarity than super rare, but I feel like super rares are usually held in a higher regard when it comes to older stuff. Yet the super rare sitting here at $1. The DT's not really budging from what I've seen either. I think I clicked on it and it's pretty available under $3. Yeah, the 257, 11 copies, etc. Plenty of under $3. So just really weird to see the Kaiba collection one, the ultra rare that a lot of people didn't like how it looks, be the one that people went after for the lower rarity buyout after seeing the ultimate rare go up. Interesting. Summon limit. The common that is $7 right now spiked to about $8 the other day. We have $6 here, and it does pretty quickly start to go back up over here too. Takes its time, $7. In my opinion, summon limit is a pretty annoying floodgate to face no matter what you're playing. Against Salamangreats, they summon one monster, they go into Link, they can no longer keep Link climbing. You're playing against, say, Dangers, they're only summoning 2 things and they can't even Link summon then. Like, summon limit, it does its job pretty darn well. Neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn, including the normal summon. So this floodgate is finally seeing a lot of traction in this format. People panic bought it out. You see the color versions, the green, purple, red, blue, the good old Duelist League promos have been bought out to ridiculous proportions, as tends to happen with something that only has its good old one printing all the way back from LODT. Light of Destruction. It's been a while since we've had to say that with the name of a buyout. But yeah, So be aware that this, again, these first 3 cards are pretty much anti-Salamangreat is what they have in common, although they also are able to kind of combat the general meta when you're looking at something like Summon Limit. Speed Duels, the set that comes out at the end of the month. I thought it was last month. People have been asking me if they should buy it. For value, I think it's a terrible buy. I think this is kind of star packs in disguise with a format question mark that you can play. That's kind of what it makes me feel like, right? And also to clear up a lot of confusion, you can use cards you pull out of here in alternate formats, but you can only use Speed Duel cards in Speed Duel format in the sense that you can't take like a higher rarity. Let's say I want to play my super rare Judgment, Ultra, whatever, Hollow Judgment from the Legendary Collection Kaiba pack when it comes out in Speed Duels. You can't do that. You gotta use the one with the Speed Duel marker, but you can use those in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! For when you're playing. So yes, these cards can be played in outward Yu-Gi-Oh! A square is a rectangle, but you cannot fit the rectangle as the square kind of thing. I hope I didn't make that more confusing. TLDR, you can use these cards everywhere. You buy them, they're not locked into Speed Duel format. That's how I should put it. So yeah, this is coming out soon. If I were to suggest an investment from this, is the very first Speed Duel random set, I would get the character skills. They might be collectible later on, they might be considered special, or they could be as useless as tip cards out of Dark Beginnings and Dark Revelation. I really don't know. But if I were a gambling man, that is what I would be stockpiling out of this set for the future. It could be down the road, 10 years, who knows, something very unique, looked back upon, and this is the original set. They could not get reprints for those character skills. So definitely, if I'm targeting cards from the set, it would be the character skills. They're what's likely to not get reproduced. Psychic Wielder has gone down a little bit over here and a little bit over here, but way more on TCG Player. I think I personally like the option to be able to synchro whenever considering a deck like Salamangreat's, but a lot of people also opt not to play this, be it for the price, be it for their extra deck, and in my opinion, it's up to you. It really is. I don't think it's necessary, and I think a lot of people are along that same, like, thought line that, hey, I don't need to be doing this, so I'm not going to. But again, Trishula is a powerful card. Bryonic's a powerful card. I think it's a decent option, but it is just an option. It's not a necessity, and that's kind of why it's falling as Salamangreats do develop in the meta. If I were to go for any penny stocks out of Savage Strike, it would be the Guard Dragons, and this is why. You have the Heretic Link coming in dual power in around 2 months. Even with the special editions increasing the quantities of these by a lot, the Heretic Link really starts to bring and complete the deck together and give extra options to the Guard Dragon deck rather than just the engine, and I think that's when the deck will really get the next level. Being able to have a Compulse on that end board alongside all your negates is actually just another insane layer to where you don't have to deal with something as a negate, but rather you just bounce it. And I think these will be somewhat similar to the Nightmares in the future in terms of, as long as Saryuja's around at 3 of them things, you'll be seeing the Guard Dragon engine do crazy, insane stuff, and being able to go back up into it. But even without Saryuja in these kinds of decks, you could go into Boral and continue linking up on the other side of the board. You can do so many crazy things. They're definitely what I would be after up through the WCQ season, and I think towards the WCQ will have their chance after we get the Heretic Link. That's just what I would be going for. Some people have actually talked to me about Dangers, and Danger Ogopogo is a similar thought process for me on the penny stocks out of the set, because when we look at the top 3, these are what they would go after on an F and L list, but also they need to sell the Battles of Legend, they need to sell the Megatons, and I don't think they'll be hitting Dangers so early, at least not cutthroat, on the next FNL list. I think Nessie, Sneck, and Jackalope will all survive the list. The question is at what quantity and at what cost to the meta. But seriously, I think that it's a little too soon to be striking them off completely, and the one that would rise the most, I would think, would be Bigfoot, as he's super reliable, 3k attack. You end up playing him in the Blue Eyes Guard Dragon builds to be able to overlay with. And also, I think Thunderbird would rise faster than Ogopogo. This is kind of the penny stock that might rise to the point where it's Chupacabra's price, you know, towards $6, whereas Thunderbird and Bigfoot have the potential to really get up there and rise. So if I was going for any of them, it would realistically be Bigfoot, but again, with all the reprint sets on the horizon, I don't think any of this is long-term, and personally, if you're not playing it, I would stay away. That's my end advice. Trap Trick is something people ask me about, and yeah, if you're wanting it for the WCQ, I don't think you're going to be finding it much lower than $30, maybe $28, maybe it dips all the way to $25, but for the time that you're going to get to play with, test with it, etc., it's just so good. Activate Reincarnation, activate Trap Trick for the other Reincarnation, resolve backwards, activate Reincarnation, activate Droll that you, after searching Reincarnation. Like, this just added so much consistency to decks like Trickstar, Rogue decks, everything that could play control, back row. It's so freaking good. It's traps on demand from the deck, and I think until it gets a reprint, it's really going to stick out there. I hope that it's at Battles of Legend before the WCQ, but if you're looking to get your time out of testing with it and going for it, you should get it sooner than later so that you are testing with it. I personally think that you'll get your value out of it, the playset, over time, but if you are a budget player and you're waiting for long-term, go ahead and wait till the Megatons, unless, you know, you're going to the WCQ, the big show. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you guys think of everything happening? The anti-Salamangreat stuff rising. Am I wrong about this? Is this not the next Starfoil or Star Pack that's happening in disguise? Like, they just tried to add a little format for a hype. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think the character skills are what I would go for. What do you guys think of stuff like that? Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And again, set your clocks not only for those gym backpacks at 8 Central tonight, but the stream at 7 Central. See you guys tonight.